A little backstory. Well, we just purchased the property in March, and it's actually something that it took me about a year when I first saw it before we actually were able to make it all happen. So we moved out here in March this winter. It's been a lot of experiences taking place. We have heard, a woman. She frequently will, call out, hello, very questioning, like, trying to figure out who we are, or who's here. We've seen another woman various places throughout town kind of walk, in and out of buildings. Mostly we can know it's a female based on the large skirt that she has. We have had experiences with seeing a cat jumping off of tables and off of furniture. We've heard it meow. My dogs have experienced it, and when we were underneath the building working on some plumbing, we actually came across a mummified cat that was down there. And we still see a cat will, jump from a table in here or run across the floor. So we've had a lot of experiences with that. We've had people get touched when they're lying in bed, feeling like somebody's grabbed their foot. We've had just different visuals, seeing people standing in doorways, or we will see somebody, like when we're driving by or walking through town, we'll see somebody standing in here through the windows. There's just a lot that's taking place.
And this is ready to film in, right? This whole entire town.
Yeah, it will be available for film location, for print work, media, any type of media production that there is. We'll also be running it as a bed and breakfast and event location for conferences and retreats and weddings and things like that.
Well, so far my experiences out here have been kind of mild. I've seen a few things, heard a few things, and felt a few things. There's a lady in tan I've seen, possibly heard a couple times. There's a lady in the boarding house. I've heard her say hello. I'm guessing she calls out to me. I have seen the lady in tan. She walked around town and kind of came around her bathhouse, but that was just about it. There's a cat around here, and I was sitting about in the same spot right here, and I was turning over, and I saw a little black cat jump down onto the ground, and we've heard it, we've seen it, and it's played with our animals a little bit. And then one day when I'm coming down here to get the water turned on, I shine my flashlight down into this little hole, and there's a little mummified cat sitting around the water pipe. I had to bring him out the next day. I've felt some drawings to some of the buildings. I haven't seen or felt much, but I get the urge to go take a look. I'll peek through windows or go inside, and maybe sometimes I'll feel it and I don't acknowledge it, or I'll hear it and see it. But most of the time it's just kind of a drawing, and every once in a while I'll still have something happen. That's kind of about it.
So my experiences here have been mainly up in our brothel unit. I would constantly see this energy at the top of the stairs, and he or she would pass by and go up the stairs and past into the bathroom, and then they'd come back out and go back down the stairs, then they would come back and they'd pause and they would watch what I would be doing. And then they would enter the bathroom and stand in the doorway and peek around the corner and almost just watch what I'm doing and seeing if everything's all right and what feels to be checking up on me. We've all experienced a lot of different energy and a lot of different experiences around town. Like previously stated, there's a cat. Up in the brothel unit, I have heard a clear as day meow. And I have cats, and I noticed that they were completely asleep. They've been out, and I heard it coming from the bathroom. And I go to check, and there's nothing in there. So there was a cat up in there. There's been the lady in a dress that we've seen walk by, and the flow of her dress in the sunlight, and it's very bright and tan and almost colorful but bland at the same time. And there's been this lady that would say hello and question like who would be there, like wondering what's going on. And there is a man up in the church that my mother and I saw standing right in this little cubby area next to our stairs. And he was very tall, very bulky, strong, big looking man. And that's about what all I have experienced.
I'm a friend of the owner, and she called me, a couple years ago, and said, you have to see this property. And we were so excited. We came up and saw it, and like she said, it took her about a year, and she managed to purchase it, and I thought, I'm going with you. And she put me up in the jailhouse, which is a very unique building. It has bars and a sheriff's desk and a safe and everything just like it. Well, I was moving my things in and putting things away in the one bathroom, and as I'm walking through, it's kind of made a little different. You have to actually walk and then turn to the left and then turn to the right to get into the bathroom. And as I was doing that and coming out, every time I did it, I got really dizzy, real fun house effect, real head swimmy, and on the other side of the room, I didn't feel anything at all. Now, I am very sensitive to the other side. I won't say I am sensitive at all. I have not seen anything. I have heard footsteps, but that particular feeling I knew for a fact was something else because I took my white sage out, I saged, and it went away, or at least minimized to the point where I don't feel it anymore. My two dogs, one of them is hypersensitive to spirit, and he'll air scent, and he'll watch something go across the room and something like that. I unfortunately have not gotten to see anything, but I watched him just react, and now he hides under the bed. I don't know why, but I saged again just in case. That is about the extent of my experiences here. I'm only staying here temporarily. And whoever gets to jailhouse is going to have quite an experience.
This is a place you come to disconnect.
Right.
And just the atmosphere out here, it really does take you back. And you feel like you're living in the 1800s, which is, what our goal was.